everyone, it's your favorite girl, Sus, and you are welcome to my YouTube channel. Okay, to start with, I just wanted to say my last video got 50 views. And in case you don't know what that is huge because my videos have only gotten about 34, I believe 34 views. And for the first time, I was able to hit 50. Yay! This is where the fireworks, go off, but I ain't got none. But honestly, I'm so excited. I'm so happy about the love, my friends, my contacts on WhatsApp, people in general that saw me post actually watched the video. A lot of you guys loved it and commented. And I just want to say a big thank you. Oh, I didn't even know I could get this. Okay, this goes lower. Okay, I'm not good at this, but seriously, I'm so grateful, guys. It really means a lot to me. And I'm so happy that a lot of you could relate to that video, A lot of people were telling me how they don't know how to relax in Lagos and how stressful Lagos has been since they were born and how they can't wait to go to places where, relaxation is actually a thing and it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a norm there, right? Basically, they can't wait to go to a city where relaxation is just the norm. So on my video today, I'm going to be, just a minute, I'm so sorry. On my video today, the number one thing that I have planned to discuss has to be my childhood. Yeah. And I'm going to start by saying, just as the video is labeled, Childhood Dreams, Adulthood Realities, I'm going to be breaking down personal experiences. I'm not talking in general, I'm talking based on my experience. So let's begin. So guys, growing up, I was a very happy child. I always had a smile on my face, maybe because I saw my mom smiling a lot. So even when she was down, she would have this. So you notice there's always, and people actually compliment that. They always say, Susu, I like your smile. I like the way you're always smiling. You have a beautiful smile and all of that. And I just know for a fact that that smile did not just, come on its own. It came from my mom. My mom is very big on her smile and she has the most beautiful smile. But one thing I remember about growing up was I was always trying to be someone I saw on TV. For as long as I could remember, I remember Paloma and Diego, but the one I can never forget was Second Chance. I wanted to be Isabel Arroyo so bad. I don't know how many of you watched Second Chance, because AIT started showing some Mexican movies. I don't know the channel that started showing before AIT, but I knew that AIT picked up. Am I wrong about AIT? I think it's AIT. I think it's AIT. So, they started showing these Mexican movies, and one of the movies that actually got my attention was Second Chance. Isabel, her real name, I can't remember. But, I remember Andres Garcia. I can't remember her actual name, but I remember, that Andres Garcia. And, I heard she's late now, God bless her soul, but she was an awesome actress. Jesus. Do you remember those her gypsy skirts? And then she'll be walking and it would just be like, the skirts will be flowing easy. When someone works effortlessly, she used to work so effortlessly. And anytime I saw her, I was just like, that's who I'm going to be. I'm going to be Isabel. Isabel was not even a good character in the movie. She basically killed her husband with her boyfriend and, her husband reincarnated. And then you have Salvador and Don Pedro and all of that. But basically, long story short, I wanted to be Isabel. And why is that? Because I believe she was a strong woman. And I've always been intrigued by strong women. From childhood, I've always wanted to be a strong woman. I didn't even know how I knew that they were strong, but I just knew that they were the main characters in the movie. When we're watching Teresa, Ruby, all of these women, right? One of the things that I would always like the villain. I didn't like the good girls, the Paloma that's like, oh, I love you, Diego. Yeah, that was nice, but I wasn't all for that. I always noticed that my attention was drawn to people like Isabel or Teresa. Teresa was a girl that I think married her dad's friend, and they did all the wrong things, right? But one thing I liked was how they would enter a room and just take charge. They were it wasn't even about the facial looks. It was just they had this charisma. They had this, and I just, whenever I was acting movies, I used to, tell my mom, I'm acting play, Susan, bring this, I'm acting play. And when I now hear that, I did not hear any sound from her. I know that if I don't get that thing in the next 2 seconds, whatever I see, Isabel cannot save me. I tell you. So, then I used to call it acting play, and I would even involve my junior sis and my little sister. I would always involve her, and one thing was I was always the boss. I would always wear the heels, wear my mom's wig. I didn't really apply makeup then because my mom wasn't even big on makeups, but I just remember always trying to be people I saw on TV, and these people in particular. And then when it came to choosing a career path, I believe this was when we were in JS3 about to go to SS1. Everybody had to choose between science and commercial. For me, it was just an obvious commercial. Commercial was mixed with arts, right? So there'll be like commercial class or arts class. Basically, it's just the same class. There was A and B. A is science, B is commercial or arts. And I just remember that, okay, I did not even think twice about it. But my mom wanted me to be a nurse. A silence for Nurse Susan. Just a moment of silence for her, please. A nurse. And I would always be like, is it that this woman doesn't like me? Or is there something about me that she just feels needs blood or likes blood? Because honestly, for as long as I could remember, I have never ever liked the hospital. I wasn't even frequent at the hospital. I just knew that I wanted to talk because as a child, I wasn't always, the one to say what was wrong or what was going on. Most of the things that happened to me during childhood, my parents don't even know the half of it. And not like they were horrible experiences, but it was just, I never really spoke. But in the year 2013, I remember listening to radio on my Touchlight phone. There was this Nokia phone my mom got for me then. I think because I passed WAEC, I can't remember what the reason was, but she got a small phone for me. And I remember listening to radio all the time. I always had my earpiece on. I was always on Beats FM, Cool FM. I never left these 2 stations, and I would listen to Vic Knees and Weekly Top 40, that kind of stuff. Like, they did a countdown for the 20 songs in America. They also did like a countdown for 50 songs in America. I was always, calm down, Suze. I would be listening to them and basically repeating what Ryan Seacrest or Rick Rios, like 2 of them, basically. I would always be, saying what they were saying because I'd listened to it so many times. I was like, definitely, this is what I want to do. And when the time came to be, to go to university, I said, I want to do mass communication, And when it came to my voice, growing up, right, I had the tiniest voice ever. I remember when I would be like, my name is Susan, and people are like, huh, what did you say? I'm like, my name is Susan, and then they're like, Susan. They would always like imitate what I said, and they would get so excited because they're like, you have a lovely voice. And there was this man, God bless his soul, he was a lesson teacher to I and my little sister. So there was a time we're doing extra lessons after school, and they enrolled us in, I can't remember his name, I just used to call him Chidi's dad, and even his son is late now, God bless his soul. But I remember he was always calling me the girl with the golden voice, and as a child, I did not, well, I was just like, this man. And I was intelligent. I am intelligent. I was really, really smart as a child, and I just remember him always focusing on my voice. He would always be like, where is Susan, the girl with the golden voice? He always put it like it was a sentence, like, Susan, the girl with the golden voice. So I grew up feeling like, okay, I have a voice, but I didn't quite place it, right? And even in my early teens, like when I got to uni, I also heard such compliments like, you have a nice voice, but oh more, you don't want to test me when I'm upset. You don't want to hear this voice when I'm angry. You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna, you will not like what will come out from me. You can see that there's a switch in the Ha, don't try me, don't test me. Like, for real, I really did not understand why people were all about my voice. I just felt like I talked like every other person. But even at a time, some people will be like, that your tiny voice has gone. Lagos don't collect them. Or they'll be like, life don't collect them and all of that. But it never shook me because I do know I have a good voice. And some people, even when I started working, they're like, this your voice is fake. This your voice is fake. And you know when people keep talking about how something is fake, guess what I did? Whenever they say, is this your voice? Because men will usually ask, they'll be like, is this your voice, your real voice, or is it your fake voice? I'll say, it's my market voice. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, this is this voice I used to sell markets in this store. Because I work at a clothing store, right? So I'm like, this is what I used to sell because if you are telling me it's fake, we can as well go down that road, man. It's fake, yeah. Like, because even me, sometimes I just, used to tell myself, like, it's like when I meet people for the first time, I just go, and then when I'm used to them, I'm like, and, it's not like I think before I speak. It's like I speak, and then people are like, oh, is this your voice? I'm like, oh, okay, I sound like this. And I'm like, nah, it's not. So I grew up just, I got comfortable and I started saying to people, yeah, it's the voice you want to hear, whichever one. If it's fake to you, so be it. If it's real, so be it. Me, I'm not going to start explaining myself because even me, I cannot explain what's going on here. I just know that sometimes I talk like this and sometimes I talk like this. And some people used to say, you're forming. Forming for who, please? Forming say waiting go happen at the end of the day. So it wasn't just it wasn't what they were saying. It was just whatever came out from my mouth. Whatever sound you heard was what you heard. So live with it, right? So just like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm discussing childhood dreams and adulthood realities, right? So just to really go into this topic, why I'm talking about this is, as a child, if anyone had told me that I would not be a banker, because I used to go to the banks and I loved how they were dressed at the time, right? I loved how bankers were dressed. I loved their heels, their suits. I used to be like, oh, I wanted to be a banker. At the time, it switched to an actress because I started watching Isabel. I was watching Second Chance and all these other series or movies on TV, and I was just like, I want to be like this woman. I want to act because I felt while watching them. Oh, I forgot one movie. Did anyone watch La Usurpadora? Like, did anyone watch Paola Bracho? Paola, and she was always on the red lip. I tell you, I've always liked bad. For some reason, I don't know what it was, but I'm much older now, so whatever. But growing up, I always loved those ladies. They look so powerful. They look so in charge. La Usurpadora for me was here. Before we even talk about Isabel and Second Chance, I swear to God, like La Usurpadora for me was everything. The way this lady dressed, her hair, her heels, like every single thing about her just sparked something, and I was always going to be into that. I mean, why not? So I was talking about from banking to being an actress. At the time, I wanted to sing because of my voice. Obviously, I wanted to be like, I had the whole Beyonce thing going on in my head. And there was this time I performed Whitney Houston's song, and I think I was booed, right? I sang Let the way, let them lead the way. Okay, Greatest Love of All, right? And I think I was booed, I can't remember. And then I came back on stage. This was in secondary school. I came back on stage, and guess what I performed? Beyonce's To the Left, To the Left. I remember holding the mic and being like, let me show you. To the left, everything you own in the box to the left, in the closet, if that's my stuff. And I was giving attitude, and I was just in just one. I was like, if that's my stuff, yeah, if I bought it, please don't touch, keep taking that mess, that's fine. Like, and people were like, ah! And then my sister was in, I think SS3 or SS1 at the time. So everybody was like, that's Ogechi's sister. That's Ogechi's sister. And I was like, yeah, that's Ogechi's sister, whatever. And it was awesome because people actually liked, the way I sang it, the way I was. And I was so nervous. I remember, like, when you're performing, right? And everybody's eyes is on you and you're shaking. But you're just, in your head, you're just like, yeah, everybody. You're just like, Susan, you can do this. You keep telling yourself, like, Susan, you can do this. And, and then when it comes to my voice also, many of you don't know, but I auditioned for Project Fame while I was in uni. My mom came to meet me at the border. From the border, we went straight to whether VI or Ikoyi. I can't remember where they did the audition, but I just know I walked in and I wanted to perform. Oh, I performed, what's her name? Tiwa Savage's Kele Kele Love. And I just took the mic and I was like, all these serious candidates should come and holla. You don't. The guy was just like, next. I was like, okay. Hey, like, you want to ask someone, do you know me before? Do you? Because I was so nervous going in, right? And for someone to just hear like the first line and be like, next, I was like, this music thing is not for me. And I think that really shook me. That was one of the things that actually got to me. And I was just like, I'm not meant to do music. I'm meant to do radio. So I think I've talked a lot about childhood, right? From the banking thing to the actress thing to the music thing, right? Now, what am I doing presently, right? It has absolutely nothing to do with any of these things except for this YouTube, right? Talking. When I got out of school, honestly, I thought I would just stomp into any radio station, especially Beats FM and Cool FM, because I was like, when you feel like you're the only one doing something, right? That confidence of, I'm the only one listening to these people, or I'm the only one that knows them the way. I just walked in, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to walk in, and the whole world is waiting for Susan, waiting to receive this gift, this girl with the golden voice, right? I soon realized that there are 5,058, as in 5,500,000, like, billions of people have the same story that I do. Billions of Nigerians have gone to university, studied mass communication, want to work at Beats FM, Cool FM, all these top music stations. It's been a while I listened to radio, so I don't know the radio stations that are topping the charts, but I soon realized that it doesn't work that way. You have to fight. And when I say fight, I don't mean like physically. You have to actually wake up every morning and reassure yourself, speak to yourself, push yourself. You have to make a move, because you can't just come to Lagos, sit somewhere, or go to these stations and say, I want to see your boss. I have a good voice. Let me talk for you. You must enroll in auditions. You must give yourself that opportunity to, grow. You have to grow. You have to practice somehow. And I know a lot of people will be dissing, all these, what's the name I'm looking for? They'll be dissing all these radio stations. Like, they'll be asking for people with experience. Like, how are you supposed to get experience when you are literally waiting for that opportunity? Like, how are you supposed to get an opportunity if I'm not giving out? You hear things like experience, 2 years experience, 3 years experience. You hear a lot of requirements from these people, but you really do not blame them. I remember the first week I resumed at the company where I work. I remember working in, and like I said, I work in a fashion store, right? I remember walking in and just thinking to myself, okay, never really seen myself here, but okay, whatever. And I remember that same week, a customer walked in with his friend. I don't know his name, but I've never forgotten him, Do you know what this guy said? He was like, what's your name? I said, Susan. He's like, okay, you're new here. I'm like, yes. So what's your story? I'm like, I just finished school, so I'm just looking for something to do for the meantime. He's like, okay, my advice to you? I'm like, no. He said, don't ever let, he said, I can't remember his words exactly, but I remember him saying something like, do not allow, like, whatever you're doing now to take over what you plan to do initially. it was almost like God was telling me, you better not forget your dream of talking on radio, or you better not forget, Susan with the golden voice. Because out of all these things I've said about the acting, the music, the banking thing, I can't remember. The banking thing just reoccurred to me now that I wanted to, that's not for me anymore. But it just clicked that this was probably God just telling me, like, through someone, like, you have a gift and you must use it. Because I can't count how many times my friends have told me, you have a good voice, you have a good voice. At the time, I'll be rolling eyes for them, like, because I'm very stubborn, right? But this whole video is just because I want people to never forget what they want to do. It's really hard in Nigeria, to just take charge. It's really hard to be at the top. Sometimes it's easier to just give up, right? It's easier to just say, well, this thing where I want to go work, make I try something else, right? And it doesn't mean I don't love what I'm doing at the moment, but I still have love for radio. I don't even know. I love talking. I'm one of those friends that will send you a 15 minutes voice note unprovoked. You may just say, Susan, my echo gel has finished. I'm just like, okay, the reason your echo gel finishes because until we get to 20, 15 minutes, 18 minutes, and it's like you are not even expecting it, and I just drop it. And I really, really like my friends that actually reply with voice notes. I like the whole voice note to voice note switch. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to my future on radio, because I don't know when it will happen or how it will happen, but I still have my eyes there, right? I have auditioned once or twice for one of their openings. I can't really state which radio station, but I have applied, for a chance to talk on radio. And I know that one day Susan, the girl with the golden voice, will talk on radio, right? So guys, I think I have come to the end of my channel. Not the end of my channel, the end of this particular episode on my channel, because truth is, I just felt the need to speak to you guys that, okay, at the moment you're not doing what you want to do, right? And this is many people's story. Many people grew up believing you're going to be like doctors, bankers, lawyers or whatever, but they found a new love. And what I'm doing at the moment is a new love for me. Honestly, working in that fashion store has taught me so many things that I cannot even, maybe one day I'll make a video about my job, but for now I'm just saying that it's okay if you haven't gotten there yet. Just as long as your eyes are still there, like you're still keeping that ear open just in case of anything, and you're trying other things that have to do with that. For a very long time, even this YouTube channel was a dream, right? It was me just, procrastinating as always. Because it's like I said, it's easier. It's always easier to just say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next tomorrow, and all of that. But the moment you decide to take that step and say, you know what, I'm going to do this today. I remember the first time I posted on my YouTube, it was a colleague actually. She just said, okay, today she just brought the lights, just put on the lights, put on, everything that she needed to put on, and voila. If you noticed in that video, I was just like, yeah, my name is Susan. I'm so shy, but I did it and I'm here and I'm really enjoying this. And for as long as I'm enjoying this, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep making videos and posting on my YouTube. If I find a new platform to share my gift, I'm going to be doing it there. And I just want to say thank you so much for the love, for the care, for every single thing. I don't want you guys to ever give up. I know the country is something else right now. A lot of us are just pushing and we're wondering, how long am I going to keep pushing? But never give up, because it's just one day you will just, and before you know it, you're where you wanted to be, or you're where you've always wanted to be, right? So thank you so much, guys, for the love, for the care. I'm actually recording at night. I believe this is not night, but it's like 7:17, and I'm about to step out. But I needed to share this video because it means a lot to me that you all don't give up, okay? Never ever give up. Whatever it is that you have planned to do in life, you can do it. You will do it. It just takes time, right? Some of it takes time. Sometimes it doesn't take that long. And you might be very, very close. You might not even know this, but you might be so close, so close. So just keep taking baby steps. And sometimes you might retract, you might go back and feel like, but keep going, especially when it's something you love. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.